The English translation of the CD Aapsi Milap, meaning true companionship. The Living Treasure organization, with its head office in New Delhi, successfully, with the support of Gurbani, has helped change millions of lives all over the world. The pioneer being Veer Bhupinder Singhji, who, having done years of immense research in Gurbani, tries to relate the principles of Gurbani with each one of us, whether a teen, youth, or an adult. There are numerous books and CDs on topics like harmony, true company, stress management, time management, and for further details, our website www.thelivingtreasure.org will give you more information. All over the world, English being a universal language and the language of the youth, we felt the need to translate Veerji's work in English so that we could spread the message of Sri Guru Granth Sahib to the world. Today's translation is from the CD Aapsi Milap, True Companionship, and the CD is available in Punjabi at the New Delhi office. Today's topic stresses on what is true love, real companionship, and how we can build good interpersonal relationships with one another. The secret of happiness lies in the accomplishment of our respective goals and through successful interpersonal relationships. We all want to be successful in this material world. We all want everlasting peace and happiness. But how can we be successful and happy if our behavior is not in harmony with our thoughts? Gurbani, through its Shabad Sajanada, Mera Sajanada, which is on page 924, helps us to understand the secret of harmonious relationships. This Shabad or hymn is written by the fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Padshah, and it is a chant. In a chant, one point is highlighted upon deeply. Most of us feel that by going to a holy place, by bowing our head, doing service or seva, we become religious. So when we go to a holy place, do our religious duties, we feel that we have completed our religious obligations, even though our personal life is in a turmoil. This kind of seva or service is of no use if it is not practiced everywhere. Most of us happily serve many people in holy places, clean the floors, prepare food in the community kitchen, wash the dishes, but did we once enter our own kitchens, help the women folk do the dishes, cook food, or sweep the floors, which we very happily did so in holy places? We did this only to boost our own ego and to show off to the people that how religious, pious, and holy we were. And when we came across the beggar on the street or came across a needy person, we were not ready to share our things. The Sikh holy place, the Gurudwara, is a place where we needed to learn a lesson in humanity, accept the truth, give up our ego, apply this knowledge outside. But did we do this? Gurbani tells us, Sahib mera neet nawa, but we are the same, with the same old habits, not ready to change. New Years and birthdays pass by, but have we changed ourselves for the better? Our behavior is the same. Our relationships are sour, and we are always depressed. And the cause for this is that we have divided our lives into two segments, personal and religious. Religion taught us that we need to make friends with God, see Him as our Sajan, our closest friend, and see God in all beings, irrespective of caste and creed, and stop differentiating between human beings and treat all at equal par. Gurbani tells us, Kat kat mein har ju base, meaning in every being there is God. In today's hymn or Shabad, the first line is Sajanada, Mera Sajanada, Nikat Khaloeda, Mera Sajanada. Sajan means God, my beloved, my lover, who is very close to me in the form of my father, mother, husband, wife, friend, boss, maid, etc. But for us, God is only present in holy places, in the four walls of the Gurdwara. God exists in holy places made up of marble, but outside holy places, only the man's ego rules. In fact, we carry this attitude to our workplace, where we practice dishonesty without any guilt. Most of us feel that by being honest, we may not make enough profit or will be at a loss and will not be able to accumulate wealth. Hence, we feel that religiousness is only for holy places. But according to Saint Kabirji, being a weaver by profession, he saw God in his needle, his thread, and his loom, and even in his customers. So there was no chance of cheating and dishonesty. But today's parents themselves encourage their children to cheat and make quick money, go for social functions where extra money can be earned with bribes and alcohol. Hence, our business relationships, personal relationships are not in harmony. When we are physically mature, parents, relatives, society puts the pressure of marriage. And without giving much thought as to the kind of partner we may vibe with, we hastily get our children married. We don't realize the fact that being physically mature is not enough. What is required in a marriage is the merging of the two minds. In fact, our lava, the marriage ceremony called as Anant Karaj, the name signifies that we lead a happy and everlasting peaceful life after marriage. But the opposite happens. Even the children born out of this unhappy and immature wedlock suffer. We do not have this divine understanding, so that we could not transfer this to our children. Right from childhood, we have always been conditioned or labeled by others, and we carry these labels with us throughout our lives. All parents are not to be blamed. There are some ideal parents who have created the right environment, but most of them have not created the conducive environment for optimum growth, especially spiritual, emotional, and psychological. Today, we are so aware of the environmental pollution and many steps are being taken to reduce it. But Gurbani, since 500 years, is trying to eradicate inner pollution. And we can succeed in reducing inner pollution by cleansing our thoughts and changing for the better. In our today's topic, we will discuss about our children, our future resource. As we have discussed that Sajanada is always close to us in the form of all the people around, and we need to understand this aspect very clearly. In the next line, Janiyada har janiyada, Nain aloida har janiyada. We all think that we know God and that God is present only in holy places. We can achieve Him with a certain set of rituals. We have learnt this from childhood through our conditioning, and we have never questioned the why of rituals. But here, Guru Pacha is trying to say that a person who is next to me is much, much more precious than me. So I should be ever ready to help him or her at any cost. By doing this, we will find the real meaning of religion, and it is living for others. It is also to enjoy giving to others with the right attitude. God needs to be realized. God cannot be seen, as rightly said in Gurbani, Roop na rekh na rang kich trehe gunte prab pin. Hence, God has no form, no color, no shape, no caste, but today people make statues, hang lockets and pendants, and think that they will be fully protected even if they drink, smoke, or do any misdeeds. But the after effects of alcohol and smoking and the after effects of misdeeds are going to affect them later on, and they will have to suffer. Aval Allah noor upaya kudrat ke sab bande, ek noor te sab jak upja kaun pale ko mande. God created each one in a unique manner, with so many good qualities. So who are we to judge them and put people down and hurt them? In the third line, Nain aloya kat kat soya at amrit priya guda, Naal hovanda lena sakanda swav na jane muda. Maya mad mata ho chi bata milan na jaye param tada. Kaho Nanak gur bin nahi sooj har sajan sabke nikat khada. In the above lines, Guru Pacha tells us why our children go far away from us, why there is such a wide gap between parents and children. When we make mistakes, does God punish us, starve us, beat us, hurt us? Does God do bad things to us? No, not at all. So, if God does not punish us for our misdeeds and wrongs, why do we always scold our children and teens at every point in their lives? Right from childhood, we make decisions for our children regarding their school, friends, society, marriage, spouse, etc. We dominate the child in all respects and do not help him to be creative. Sometimes hypocrisy of the parents develops seeds of disharmony and make wider gaps, and the child does not get an ideal role model to build on. Hence, he goes far away from parents mentally and physically. We make dummies out of our children because of our dominating attitudes in all fields of life, be it personal, educational, social, or religious. Even at home, we discriminate between siblings and give the wrong messages to them, and the girl child thinks she is inferior than her brother. This further widens the gap and sows seeds of disharmony. We do not encourage sharing because we ourselves do not want to share with the needy, our neighbor. Hence, our child senses this, and he or she also becomes selfish. We are jealous of the other person's progress, and the child senses this through our behavior. Even our bedrooms are different, and if there is a guest, we grudgingly offer our room to him. We are always telling the child what not to do. Did we ever tell him or her that what he should do? Today's parents do not have the time to sit with their children because in the rat race for materialism, they have forgotten to spend quality time. What is important for today's mothers are their kitty parties, while fathers are busy making money by hook or by crook. Some fathers don't even know their children's grades. The child comes from school to be welcomed by the servant and a burger on the table. No wonder today's children are forced to eat unhealthy junk food because mothers are apparently busy with non-creative work like shopping, gossip, and their family's health goes for a toss, and lifestyle diseases are attacking them soon. Obesity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes are very common, and not to mention the mental disorders we are grappling with. The servant who cooks at home does not have enough knowledge regarding health and nutrition, so he overloads the food with oil and spice and cooks food in an unhygienic manner, and then health suffers. An ideal mother would be the one who welcomes the child when he comes from school. We will now discuss how to build strong relationships with our teens. The period of adolescence in the life of a teen is also called as the period of exploration and experimentation as he moves towards adulthood. There are hormonal changes in boys and girls, and hence we should not scare the teens. So mothers should talk to their daughters and fathers should talk to their sons and guide them in the right direction. Parents should be a source of guidance and support in these times. Parents can build a bond by talking to the teen as to what is going on in his life. Do not be a watchman to your child, but give him the appropriate information and let him take decisions by himself. Talk to him about values, but also teach him the consequences. For example, if we give the child a computer, see that it is in the living room. We can give him whatever he wants, but teach him to use things wisely. On the part of children, children should give adequate space to parents and should learn from the parents' mistakes. Try not to hate the face of your parents because, according to genetics, we look like our parents later on. Children should not try to change their parents but should improve themselves, because if children develop good qualities, all past misdeeds of parents, grandparents will be forgiven and Pitri Hoy Udharo will be achieved. Children very closely observe their parents and see that if they are engrossed in materialism and socialization, and this causes depression in the child or teen, and he sees his life as a dead end and is very confused. He thinks, what will I do if I study? What will I do if I earn? And he develops suicidal tendencies. When interviews were conducted in various schools and colleges, they found out that 73% of the teens wanted to commit suicide, and that they were fed up of life and suffered from loneliness. Hence, our children should go out, but we need to equip them with the right knowledge, and they should be made strong and should not be weak to fall prey to materialism or sexual pleasures, which is very common in the teen years. Today, our teen must be given a fireproof jacket of Gurbani and should be warned regarding misuse of money and sex. Children should learn good things from parents and should overlook the mistakes of parents. Parents who are always against their own religion, their own country, want to leave their country, such children should be taught to be proud of their culture, language, religion, and family, and they should be taught to develop a very high self-esteem. In the field of moral education, today the theory of induction is used, meaning whatever rules we make for our children, they should be followed by correct reasoning behind them. The curiosity in the child to ask questions should be nurtured. As I noticed a very interesting conversation between a father and a son. They were both traveling together and the child asked, "Daddy, what are those long electrical wires and how electricity travels from one stage to another through them?" "Son, I don't know, as I'm not an electrical engineer, and you will learn in your school about it soon." As they go further, he sees some cows grazing in the field. He questions, "Dad, the cow eats green leaves, but how does it get converted to milk?" "Son, actually I don't know much about cows. When you study in school, you'll know." The child goes on asking many questions, and the father does not answer. This type of attitude of the child should be nurtured and not suppressed. If parents suppress his inquisitiveness, and then the child takes for granted that my parents will never answer my questions, and the child does not develop a bond with the parents. And when the child grows up, questions regarding religion crop up. He does not get an appropriate answer and he loses interest in gaining knowledge. What are the signs of a warm relationship? The child, in the absence of parents, follows their morals and ethics. Parents should therefore build their self-esteem. But we see in most homes that mothers, grandmothers are busy feeding a diet full of ghee and almonds, but the child is not given food to feed his soul. Hence, children grow up to become dummies, and we fulfill all his demands without proper reasoning. Today, psychologists say that the children should not be given toys that encourage aggressive behavior. At home, the child observes the dominant parent and copies his or her behavior. Hence, parents should see that their behavior is appropriate everywhere, especially in front of the children. And if child spends a lot of time with both the parents, their behavior gets better at all times. Parents who keep on bickering all the time do not leave any space to think about the child, affects the child in all respects, academically, emotionally, leaving him confused, angry, and guilty. If the child has made a mistake, the situation must be handled tactfully, gently, by taking the child and saying, "My son, if you make a mistake like this in future, you will suffer." Do not scold, criticize, and use physical force with the child, as in certain countries there are laws where you cannot physically abuse a child. Now we will discuss how families can help. In some families, married girls are often told by their mothers that they should not adjust in their new homes till they pester their husbands to separate into a nuclear family. But in the nuclear families, the child does not get the benefit of staying with relatives, loses out on many things because joint family is a nursery to teach social values, cooperation, sympathy, sacrifice, affection, selfless service, and obedience. The role of the school is very, very important, and some parents make unnecessary fuss that the school should be air conditioning with all kind of show-offs. Hence, parents should see that their hard-earned money is to be spent on education and not wasted on rituals, customs, and festivals. Instead, money can be used in the education of your child, children in the neighborhood, and of course, poor children and needy children will bless you if you educate them. Religion plays a very important role in the child's life, but we are not able to convey the right messages because our own practices are so ritualistic and hypocritic that the child is not able to take the right path. We ourselves are full of faults. We don't improve, don't make an attempt to develop good qualities. We all want to be successful in all respects, but we need to do this with awareness. Only then we can enjoy everything around, because then we are on the path of truth. If parents are not financially stable, they must not take loans and should not encourage the child to do so. With honesty, tell him how much you are worth. And if you have a lot of money, the child should not know everything, as he observes all the show-offs of the parent and misuses the money and falls prey to bad habits. Some ways as to how relations between couples can improve. Here, they need to understand the concept of sajanada, mera sajanada, nikat khaloeda, mera sajanada. But it has been understood in the gurdwaras, husband will do seva, wash the dishes, sweep the floors, but at home he orders the wife and says, you do the dishes, you see the children. And in some home it's vice versa, where the wife dominates. Sometimes the wives leave the ailing sick in-laws at home and says, I'm going to the Gurdwara, with the I don't care attitude. Not understood the Nikat Khaloda Mera Sajanada concept. How can we become ideal couples? There are many ups and downs in every home, and no one is happy. In fact, in many homes, when a girl grows up, marriage is an ultimatum, so parents and relatives just want to get the girl married, no matter whether they find the right match or not. Why can't we make great women leaders like Mai Pago, Mata Gujri, or Mother Teresa, instead of rushing our girls into a hasty marriage? Today, many people who call themselves as very holy, pious, whose qualities should be mercy, religiousness, contentment, very happily take dowry and give dowry. Today, this is a serious social problem which needs to be eradicated, and it can be done in one way only. Do not take dowry and do not give dowry. In fact, there are so many dowry deaths because the rich and the affluent show off so much that the poor and the middle class people are forced to keep up with them, and if they cannot give dowry, they face a lot of torture in the form of bride burning, dowry deaths, and torturing the girl so much that she commits suicide. There are so many instances of female feticide, and all this is happening in families who call themselves very religious, and they claim that I am a vegetarian. How can I kill animals? But the innocent female fetus is quietly done away with one by one at the sex determination clinics. Now, solutions for couples. Right from childhood onwards, we make a certain image about something which carries on throughout our lives. We are right from childhood told by our parents, the world is a bad place. People are out to fool you at all times, so be very careful. Do not trust anyone. And due to this kind of brainwashing done right from childhood, we are not able to build a good relation with others. We are always judging people all the time, wherever we meet them, based on our past experiences, our memories, and our educational background. A successful couple cannot be defined as the one who enjoys sex or has many children. And for some couples, marriage is a factory to produce kids. And for most men, marriage means having sex at his convenience, whether the wife wants it or not. And if the wife denies, then the man, without any hesitation, goes out and gets into another relationship. What exactly is true love? Real love is being committed to each other and equal love for the child. Hence, when both the parents look in one direction, one goal, one thought, being one in soul and spirit, the couples should develop their friendship with the same spirit. Sometimes the wife says, "Give me a driver and a car and let me enjoy my life." And the rest of the time, she is engrossed in TV shows, tries to imitate them, symbolizes with them. She will never be at peace due to ignorance and lack of contentment. In Lava, the first holy vow taken during marriage, it is adjust, don't protest. But the husband who is full of ego forgets God, does not see God in the wife, hence cannot sit together. Their thoughts do not match, and they have married just for the benefit of the society, and now they suffer and blame each other, not ready to adjust. Another way to build harmonious relationships is when a couple makes place for each other's imperfections. Successful couples see each other's good qualities and overlook the bad ones. And it is very important to understand that we need to change ourselves first, see our shortcomings before pointing out fingers at our partner, and only then can a relationship succeed. Harmony can be achieved only if the members of the family come together, sit and discuss the truth, and for that both should think in one direction and have a common goal, not materialistic but holistic. Another saying here, which has become very popular, is forgiving, forgetting, and moving ahead in life. I have modified this message to always forgive, always forget deficiencies, and never go for divorce. And you will be rewarded with a richer life and a nourishing relationship. Hence, we need to practice a non-judgmental attitude and being less critical. But today, we seem to criticize more than ever. I recently met a couple who was so much in love 3 years back when they got married. But today, after 3 years, the wife was so sad and depressed. And when I asked her the reason for this, she said, "My husband is an officer in the traffic police department, and the nature of his job is such that he is used to seeing cars which violate traffic rules. So this attitude has slowly reached our home, and he is always on the lookout for all the wrongs in me, instead of seeing my rights. So he's become very critical, observes my behavior very minutely, and the judgment process begins as soon as he comes home. This happens in most of the homes, as we forget to introspect and see only our partner's mistakes and criticize them all the time. Also, in most homes, we make punching bags out of our husbands or wives. Sometimes the wife targets the husband when he's back from work, so all her anger and resentment built up against her children or in-laws forces her to misbehave with the husband, so she abuses and she complains. And if the husband targets the anger of his boss on the wife and children, then the husband resorts to misbehaving with his wife. So we need to stop this attitude. We must stop bragging about our position, status, wealth, and look forward to giving gifts to our partner. Now, what are those gifts? I realize this when I do very small actions like opening the door of my car for my wife, mother, help my wife in the kitchen, help her carry heavy bags when she goes shopping. Start giving gifts of warmth, love, caring and sharing attitude. And the first lava of the Sikh marriage vow stresses on the point: adjust, don't protest. All causes of disharmony are due to the misunderstanding of the first lava. The second lava, the Sikh marriage vow, stresses that one should respect each other at all times. The third lava teaches us to remain in a calm and balanced state of mind at all times and focus in one goal, in one direction only. And the fourth lava finally tells us to spend wisely and not to spend more than one's earning. Hence, in every relationship, we must stop dominating the other person, because the one who dominates and the one who is the victim are both losers. We need to understand that when we are interdependent, we learn the value of each other and love for each other will grow. And then we can understand the concept of Sajanada, Nikat Khaloida, Mera Sajanada. Questions and answers. Question 1. Veerji, you just spoke about true love and you explained it very beautifully. But I still have a question, that why don't we love all equally? Why do we love one person more than the other? We actually must love all equally, but we are selfish, and our extreme love for a particular person could be our extreme attachment towards that person or an object. Sometimes we scold and say, "Why did you touch my things?" or "Why did you come into my room?" which clearly shows our possessiveness for a person or an object. Sometimes our attachment for something is so immense that we separate ourselves from the world. And sometimes we do not understand the concept of Sajan Sabke Nikat Khada. The mother who is so attached to her child does not treat other children in the way she treats her own. Some couples who are childless keep cribbing all their lives about themselves, but do not go take a step further and adopt an orphan. Hence, we need to explore the boundaries of our love and love all equally. Then, love starts overflowing in all directions, and there is happiness all over. Dear Veerji, I am born in a Hindu family where marriage is fixed after seeing the horoscopic details. Some people say that these are very scientific and success of a marriage depends on the matching of horoscope. So how does this work? Does this really happen? Looking for an appropriate match on the base of horoscope is a total gimmick which has no connection with the success of our marriage. Some films portray this, and the Pandit is bribed and forced to match horoscopes. In such marriages, the girl suffers or the boy suffers. It's high time we understand the truth and stop using such games. True love depends on the couple's compatibility, their goal, and understanding the concept of sajanada. So how can a horoscope come in between? Dear Veerji, life is full of problems, worries, tensions. So do we marry to increase our problems or to get rid of them? I understand that our life already has many problems, and they are like dukh daru sukh rog paya. Problems are important because they are actually opportunities in disguise. In fact, problems signal us to introspect, look inside for our faults and rectify them. But do we do this? And parents, on the other hand, forcefully match horoscopes and marry. So we, with all our faults, problems, tensions, stresses, marry. And our partner, with all his problems, tensions, marry. So everything multiplies. Hence, we need to make an effort to rectify our weaknesses before marriage. Dear Veerji, you just said that successful marriage is a meeting of two minds, and if the partner is of another religion, of another caste, then what? Marriages of such sort are very dangerous, more so for the girl. A Sikh girl, if marries outside her caste, she would not know how to conduct herself in festivals, prayers, rituals of the other religion. And if another caste girl is married into a Sikh family, she would not know our rituals and prayers, etc. Even after children are born, there are problems regarding the child, the religion he should follow, and many more problems. Hence, a Sikh girl should marry only in a Sikh family. Dear Veerji, sometimes when the trash in our homes is extra, we pay extra money to clear away our extra trash. The same happens in the marriage of some girls who have deficiencies. Parents give extra dowry to cover up defects. I don't want to fall in that category, and what if my parents force me to marry in such a manner? Prepare yourself to stand upright and stay strong with your principles. You need to be confident and have faith in your ability. In fact, I have a dream to start a women association support group for girls who are harassed by dowry demands and those who suffer injustice. and they would be given help to stand on their feet till they regain confidence. Girls can be taught to become Mother Teresa, Florence Nightingale, Mata Gujri, and Mai Pago too.